Hey guys, what's going on? Doing another project here on my truck. A CCV reroute kit. This kit I got from SPE, and basically just comes with a hose, this gap. I don't need to go too much detail because there's already videos on this. I'll go over a couple things here. So what you're going to have to do, now this is a 21 F350, got 3,000, little over 3,000 miles on it. I haven't towed with it yet, so it really hasn't worked hard. But already I have, let's see if I can find the puddle. Okay, already I got a puddle of oil there. I've already got crap in this intake system with 3,000 miles on it and I haven't towed. So that's why you do these. If you haven't watched enough videos already to figure that out, that's why you do these kits. Because what you got is this box. Okay, this box sits in there, covers those two holes, one there and one right there, and it just keeps recirculating your crankcase vent. Now, in the past, before the EPA gets their stupid little fingers in stuff and starts screwing everything up, engines just vented into the atmosphere. Like, your crankcase pressure is just basically just heat and pressure that needs to escape. And up until a few years back, all diesels, even, I don't know, there might even be some diesels now, some tractors and such, that just vent into the atmosphere. Just have a, a hose that drops down, and that's how it vents. If you look on some of your older V8s, and probably a lot of your older, about every one of your older gas engines probably, they did the same thing. Like, the old V8 would just have a little vent thing that sat on top of the valve cover, and sometimes would run up to the carburetor or just run out. It was not a big deal. But now EPA is making all these guys recirculate this stuff, and you get little bits of oil, which is dirty oil. It's not oil that's been filtered. All right. So it's not being filtered what comes out of this vent, and there can be quite a bit of crap that comes out of that vent. Potentially, I've never done any studies on this or seen, but potentially you could have little engine fragments and such that's in the bottom of that oil pan, and that can get pressurized up into the crankcase and basically contaminated oil that you certainly don't want to run through your engine. And yet they're having it going right back to the intake system. So it just makes a mess out of your intake system. It's a stupid thing. And I say the best thing you can do to a diesel is get rid of it. There's no sensors or anything hooked to it. So it's not going to give you any check engine lights or any of that stuff. It's just a good thing to do. So anyway, basically what you're going to do, take off your fuel filter right there, your fuel filter housing. Okay, you got a bolt back there, you got one there, and you got two there, but only one of them holds it on, but you got to take the other one out because it's attached to this fuel line. And this one here is kind of hard to get to. You got to pull back on this line just a little bit to get to that third bolt. But anyway, that's pretty much what you got to do. I took this intake, this tube off, and so I could have more room. Watched some videos that said you don't have to take this filter housing off, maybe on some older models, but the way this 21 is set up with this, well, basically with both of these lines, you just can't get it out of there. So you'll have to take that stuff. Let me show you this box again. This box has got a bolt on that side, and then 3 bolts on this side, that one, and then 2 in the back. Kind of a pain to get to, but you can do it. This thing, basically you have this rubber cover. Where's my piece that goes on it? And you're going to see it's going to go on. You just cut it. Okay, get that out of here. Just cut it. Then that exposes these clips. Put your screwdriver in right there. Pry up. I only had to pry up on 2, and wiggled and pulled, and eventually come out. Now this little spot here, which attaches right, where am I at? Huh. it's getting dark, I can't see. Right there. Okay, that one right there. There's quite a bit of oil. Now that's one thing I didn't see in any of the videos, was telling me to beware. There's going to be a little bit of oil. I'd say about 2 or 3 tablespoons that comes out of that and will run down the side of your block. So put some paper towels there. I kind of got a mess now because I didn't see that part. So anyway, be prepared for some oil to come out of there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm using the SPE kit. And let's see, 2 more things I might go over. So this, okay, this goes on like so, right? These things have these little metal pieces in here, so getting it off of that is a little bit of work. It's a little bit aggravating, so you'll have to kind of fiddle with that. I use a tool like this to get in there and wiggle the thing out. And then how these work is you've got to pull this out enough to pull these out, and then it will just pop off. But as you can see here, okay, there's a little, it's kind of locked in place. Well, at the same time you're pulling up, you want to have it over here. See that? See? So if it's up there, you can pull it up. If it's right there, you can. You're trying to pull it up and it doesn't happen. So you got to try to, and as I was pulling it up, I kept wanting to push it over here. So it's got to be there, kind of pulled back a little bit, and then you can lift up to get it to pop off. So anyway, that might save got a little bit of time to understand that more. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, there's a lot of kits. Let me tell you, let me point out one thing about this SPE kit that I like. Okay. You won't see this put on there, but there's several videos that show you. Basically, this is going to set on there like that. And as you can see, there's no 90-degree angle on that. So what that's doing is that's taking your hose and making it run up here and then over and then down. So when the hose is at an angle, you're not going to have very little, if any, oil coming up and then out through the tube. What some companies are doing is that fitting is a 90, and so it just comes up briefly and goes straight down. Well, you don't have enough, it's elevation, and the higher up you can get that hose, the less likely you are that oil is going to get pushed out into your tube and drip out in the ground. Now, it's very little. It's not much anyway, but there is a little bit that will come out. But if you do this kit, or a kit like it that puts the hose straight up and over instead of like out and down, you're going to have a lot less issue. Probably won't have an issue at all with the oil coming out of your vent. So anyway, that's the biggest reason I got this SPE. They're more expensive and really way too expensive for what the kit is, but they're the only ones that have that fitting the way it is, and so I went with it. They seem to be pretty good to deal with so far, but there's a lot of comments about them that not so good. So anyway, but my experience was good with them. They make a good product from what I've seen online and what I've inspected here, and definitely like their fitting design. So again, that's why I went with them. Anyway, check out some other videos. There's lots of them that probably go into more detail about the details in the install, and it could help you out. But anyway, take it easy, guys.